Lose weight with macros family. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode. Today's episode, 5 reasons to take your macros seriously. Now, if you already do track your macros, but you're not taking it seriously and you're frustrated that you're not getting results, I'm about to get into it for you. Hello, Lose Weight with Macros, the Basics Podcast family. I'm your host, Verona. And if you're new here, welcome to the show. I'm a nutrition coach who believes in the power of real life tools to create healthy habits. I help busy women like you get rid of the stress and emotional eating that keeps you from creating resilient, lifelong habits that, quite frankly, you can trust. Instead of giving you another boring diet or workout plan or bland salad and tell you just to eat a whole heap of salad leaves while your family chow down on your favorite meals in the corner and you are regretfully eating that bowl of dry salad, I'm gonna help you learn how to use macros to lose fat, keep it off, and rebuild that confidence that diets often strip us of. That insecurity, that fear, that no longer feeling confident in our bodies that we know we need to get rid of. Friends, if this sounds like your cup of tea, grab your tea, your coffee, and your notepad and pen, because today's episode, friends, is gonna be a juicy one. Okay, friends, if you're somebody who's an emotional eater and you feel guilty when you eat the quote unquote wrong things, you love to eat junk food, you love to eat your favorite foods, but you also know that it's not as healthy as you could be or as it should be. Now, let's not get into the coulda, shoulda, wouldas because we're going to start to feel guilty. But this is what you are saying. You know it's not healthy, but you know you love to eat junk food. And you know that you've set goals before, especially when it's come to macros, but they've never worked out because no matter what you do and no matter how hard you try, you just cannot seem to stay disciplined. Now, you're saying to me that you're not meeting your macros over 50% of the time is making you feel like a failure. I hear you. And you're telling me that I'm good at counting calories, so you don't want to keep track of them, because if you're going over them 50% of the time, you are not being consistent enough and you need help. So when it comes to macros, if you're somebody who doesn't know what macronutrients are, aside from downloading the 5-minute guide to macros basically are the nutrients that our bodies need in large quantities. Now, focus on the fat loss. Don't forget to sign up because the waitlist is going to be open in January. We are going to be starting in the new year, fresh, ready to hit 2023 with the ground running. Now, what is Focus on the Fat Loss? It is a group coaching program for 20 women who like the accountability of other women with them. You can go and sign up on the website via nutritioncoaching.co.uk/focus to register. So when it comes to macros, they are the large nutrients that our bodies need on a day-to-day basis. Think carbs, proteins, fats, carbs, and all of the foods that we love. But there is a balance of them. Most of the time, we don't have a problem with eating carbs. I mean, I don't have a problem with eating carbs. Do you? When it comes to cookies, cakes, sweets, treats, I don't have a problem with meeting my carbohydrates numbers. However, if our diet is full up of eating simple carbohydrates, this is where people then latch onto the myth that says carbs are bad. Carbohydrates are not bad. If your doctor tells you to cut out carbohydrates, oftentimes, 9 times out of 10, they are telling you to reduce the amount of simple carbohydrates that you eat, aka the foods that we love. No one there is telling you to cut them out completely out of your life, but if you have them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, all day, every day, then that is going to need to change. So that is what they're saying to you when they're saying to reduce the amount of carbs. But oftentimes, we've built an unhealthy attachment to food and carbs alike. We take it personally when somebody's telling us to reduce the amount of simple carbs, and we take that as if the person is telling us to never eat carbs or sugar again. Now, your body will do well to reduce the amount of carbohydrates and added sugars that we have, absolutely 100%. Now, I did the ketogenic diet. Yes, it is a diet. It's definitely not a lifestyle. And one of the things that I did, and one of the things that happens on the ketogenic diet is you automatically reduce the carbohydrates. So you drastically cut the amount of simple carbs that you eat. Yes, there might be keto-friendly sweets and treats and diets, but yes, only so much cheese and shaved cheese and soft cheese and cream cheese that you can actually eat, and avocado and salmon. Salmon is fantastic, and bacon. I now no longer eat pork, but there's only so many things that you can do and can eat of those things. But when you're stripped of even healthy carbs, complex carbs like oats, sweet potatoes, those things, you are very limited to what you can eat, which is just a high fat diet, which is which is going to also increase your cholesterol. Yes, you can eat sausages. Yes, you can eat bacon, and you can also eat cheese. However, that is going to increase your cholesterol levels and cause further concern and problems, which is what the keto huns, which is what I call them, don't often tell you when they're promoting their supplements. Every MLM supplement don't tell you about the negative side. They just want you to join their quote unquote team and then make them money as the upline and the downline. Anyway, let me not get into that rant. You can go listen to episode 109, 110, 111 for my thoughts about those MLM supplements and whether or not they are going to help you with your goals. But I digress. 5 reasons to take your macros seriously is one of them is you will feel more in control. Have you ever been around food and felt so out of control? I'll tell you one time, and I segued into this nicely. Ketogenic diet I did in a workplace. Now, my workplace loved to celebrate birthdays with Krispy Kreme donuts. Now, the only Krispy Kreme donut that I actually like is the original glazed. Oh my goodness, my gosh. I haven't had one of those in a long time because I've cut back on sugar naturally. It would just be ridiculously too sweet for me. Now, it might be 135 calories, but that's just 100 calories, 135 calories of fat, and just, I don't need it right now, and sugar. Anyway, we worked in an area where it was a busy area, busy train station, and they had one of these Krispy Kreme huts there. So they would buy the mix box, and in the mix box, right, there only came 2 glazed. So I would buy a box of glazed altogether. That cost me about £15 for donuts. So they would celebrate that for birthdays. And so they decided to celebrate somebody's big birthday and a big milestone that the team hit. And they had bags of sweets, boxes of donuts, crisps, cakes, chocolates, every single food that I liked. Guess where they ended up putting all of these things? Yes, behind your girl. They put one set of sweets and treats behind my desk, and they put another on the right hand side of my desk, so they are in plain view. Now, they didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but they put it in plain sight. What that meant was the temptation for me to eat a donut, even though the ketogenic diet said that I cannot eat this, I'm not allowed to eat carbs, I'm bad if I eat carbs, you're gonna be bad. Even though that was ringing in my head, I just could not be in control, lost all sense of control, because they were all of my favorite foods around me, the side of me, in front of me, people were eating beside me, and of course behind me. So the waft, the smell was just filling the air and the aroma of the air. So I could not resist. And I didn't actually eat just one donut. I didn't actually eat 2 donuts. I became Homer Simpson and scoffed 3 donuts in the space of a minute or maybe 2. Guess what happened to my body afterwards? Yes, all of that greed that I did, that gluttony that I did, my body reacted to it in a second. It was like, whoa, what was the point of that? And I violently threw up. And what happened was, because I hadn't had sugar in that quick a succession for a period of time, it was way too much sugar in my body at one time, and that is the natural reaction, because my body believed that I was attacking it with something, and it's like, you know what, I don't know what this is, but it needs to come out of my body, and it needs to come out of my body now. So when it comes to the reasons of tracking your macros seriously, you will feel more in control. Oftentimes when it comes to situations and circumstances like that, we feel like we cannot be in control of food around us, and we feel that we have to oblige ourselves to eat those foods. You don't. I've had clients who've wanted to work with me before and have said to me, you know what, my husband brings sweets and snacks into the bed. Nobody told you have to go and eat it. Just because your husband wants to eat it doesn't mean you need to. In that moment, you wanted to eat it and you chose to eat it. If there's a saying about relationships, if he wanted to, he would. And that's the thing, basically, that says, if a guy wants to contact you, if a guy wants to message you, he will, or whatever, girl, whatever. If they wanted to, they would. And that's the same thing. If you want to, you're going to. We like to apportion blame to other things and other people. You wanted to eat it, so you ate it. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. All you need to do is learning to accept it, which is a different thing. Anyhow, when it comes to tracking macros, you will feel more in control, because now when it comes to the accountability side of it, you are learning and actually seeing what foods you eat the most of. It can be a little bit scary, it can be a little bit eye-opening, but this is the point. If you want to lose fat and keep it off, you've got to be doing these things. These are the things that I would recommend as your coach to be able to do, and I will show you how to do it in a way that it fits into your lifestyle, so you don't feel forced to actually do this. And I'm not forcing you to stop eating carbs, I'm not forcing you to eat foods that you don't want to do. I'm helping you to have the autonomy over your lifestyle, and that's one of the reasons why you should take your macros seriously. Next, you'll have a clearer picture of what works for you and what doesn't. Simple as that. If you're somebody who wants to know what macronutrients are, grab the free guide, of course, vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/macros guide. But when you have a clearer picture of what works for you and what doesn't, again, you are sitting in the driver's seat of your nutrition and your lifestyle. Gone are the days of you going to a meal plan and that meal plan telling you Monday you eat dry chicken, broccoli and rice, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't have time for that. I don't prescribe my clients meal plans that look remotely like that. In fact, when it comes to meal plans, I don't promote scripted meal plans. I give you ideas, absolutely. I give you an idea or a sample meal plan of what you could do. There's so many different possibilities that you can do, but I don't prescribe you or put you in a box when it comes to nutrition, because we've been in that lifestyle for too many years. If you're trying to get out of that and you're trying to change your behaviors, then behavior change nutrition coaching isn't something that's going to give you prescriptive things. Next, you'll feel more satisfied after meals. Have you ever been to a place to eat and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait, I'm so looking forward to this, and actually you're left unsatisfied because you didn't actually eat as much as you thought you would eat because you were saving your appetite for the meal, and then actually no, it didn't really work. Your body is filled up with so much gas and bloating and wind, there's no space for you to eat and enjoy your food, so you actually don't feel satisfied once you've done that. Instead of doing that, focus on a way that actually helps you enjoy the food. Many of you might feel like, you know what, I'm going to save my appetite. That doesn't work. What ends up happening is you end up overeating way more than you need to be, and you're not satisfied because you cannot savor the flavor, but you're just eating to a point, just want to be able to get as much food in as quickly as possible because you're ravenous. And so when you're focusing on macros, and the reasons why you need to take your macros seriously is you're going to start to notice changes in your body composition. Now, body composition is the makeup and the ratio of fat to muscle, etc. Now, muscles takes more than 3 days to grow. If there are people in a community area that you are in saying to you, I've stood on the scale and I've gained fat overnight, and they're telling you gain muscle, girl, we need to stop telling people this. Unless you are doing strength training, 3 is enough time, 4, 5 or 6 days a week. Unless you're doing that consistently for at least 6 weeks or more, then you're not gaining muscle. It does not mean because you stepped on the scale and you've gained and it's gone up, increased in water weight, it doesn't mean it's muscle. People are trying to help you because they can understand the desperation in your voice, but it's not muscle. It takes at least 6 weeks for you to gain it, not 3 days, not 3 hours. Let's start telling people the truth about weight loss. Let's start telling people the truth about fat loss. Fat loss does not happen in 24 hours. Fat gain does not happen in 24 hours. Scientifically, that is impossible to happen. So if you're somebody who wants to actually understand what that means when you stand on the scale, focus on the fat loss is where you need to be where we will be talking about this and addressing it. But let's start empowering you with the truth. Okay, so, and the final one is you'll have more energy and be able to enjoy exercise. Now, when it comes to exercising isn't a way to lose fat faster. So it doesn't mean if you increase your exercise 2 times a day and you're just starting out that you're going to lose fat faster. It just means that you're going to exert your body even more, and then you're going to actually increase the threshold for you to be able to eat more calories, because the more energy that you're burning, the more energy that you're going to need to consume to maintain that habit. Instead of doing that for 2 hours, if you want to do it for 2 hours a day, that's totally up to you. But if you're doing it for 2 hours a day thinking that's how you're going to lose fat, then you're going to be disappointed when you don't start to see the results that you're expecting because of somebody else has told you this is what they do. If you want extreme fat loss, go and do all the cardio that you want to do. Go and work out to the point that you're overworked, that you're burnt out, your body has no more energy. You don't even have energy to have time for yourself or play with your children or do things with your husband and enjoy those family things that you end up doing. Go and do that to your heart's content. I'm telling you, that is the fastest way to not get any results. I've been there. Clients have come to me in that stage thinking and expecting this is the way to continue. If you want to change your behaviors, then you have got to change your behaviors. And that first starts with your mindset. It all takes time. Believe me, it all takes time. But these, friends, are the 5 reasons to take your macros seriously, because you will start to feel more in control of your food. I've given you the example of how I felt out of control around my food. But the reason why I was feeling out of control is because I was restricting myself in order to lose fat quickly. By restricting and cutting out these things, it's going to increase the desire for me to have more of them. If you're somebody who's stuck when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to macros, grab your custom macros guide and also grab your recipe pack and put these things into practice. When you've lost 5 pounds consistently, DM me, tag me in my stories, tag me on Instagram, Lose Weight with Macros podcast. Tag me, let me know how you're doing, share these, and I want to be able to shout you out to actually say, she tried this from this particular episode and now she's been doing it consistently and she's getting results. You are an encouragement for other women because you're putting these things into practice that I'm sharing with you here. You're going and you're getting them done and you're seeing consistent results. That is what happens when you're in the position ready to take action. You can get results for free. You can lose fat for free, absolutely, by downloading these episodes, by getting the resources and actually putting them into place. People who invest and put some skin in the game, they actually want more support than just being able to go out and do it from themselves. You have to consider where you're at, what your lifestyle is like, how much time that you can realistically put into practice on the 8-week group coaching program or one-to-one with me on a deeper level. And we're doing this for a longer sustained period of time. Specific results when you're putting skin in the game. And this episode, friends, has been 5 reasons to take your macros seriously, and I can't wait to catch you in the next one. Friends, we've come through to the end of today's episode. I hope you learned something valuable from today's episode and can put it right into practice now that the episode has ended. If you found value in this episode, do share it with somebody else who can also benefit from today's episode. My friends, don't forget to download your freebies over on the website vianutritioncoaching.co.uk and also be in with a chance of coming live on air with me to get yourself some free Coach Fridays by leaving your question over on the brand new podcast page. vianutritioncoaching.co.uk/podcast is where you can leave me a question and I'll answer it over here on one of the episodes. And that's all we got time for, friends. I can't wait to catch you in the next episode.